As the days crawled by, he battled not only the harsh lunar terrain but also the phantoms of his own mind. Isolation had taken its toll, casting haunting visions that danced at the edge of reality. The boundary between the tangible and the imaginary blurred, leaving Jeremy to fend off creatures that existed only in the recesses of his fractured psyche. Yet, he persevered. His marine training, a flicker of discipline in the darkness, kept him moving forward. He scavenged for dwindling supplies, patched up the deteriorating outpost, and maintained a semblance of routine in the face of desolation. The lunar landscape, bathed in an eerie glow, harbored secrets that Jeremy could not decipher. Strange sounds echoed across the barren plains, and he caught fleeting glimpses of elusive shadows. Were they real, or were they figments of a mind yearning for connection? The rescue, a distant promise, teased him like a mirage on the lunar horizon. Communication channels crackled sporadically, filling the silence with the false hope of impending salvation. Jeremy's days became a repetitive cycle of solitude, survival, and the relentless pursuit of escape. In the moonlit nights, when the stark reality of his isolation seemed insurmountable, Jeremy faced spectral adversaries conjured by the isolation-induced phantoms. He fought invisible foes, struggled against imaginary odds, and wrestled with the possibility that rescue might be nothing more than a cosmic illusion. The flickering lights of the outpost became beacons of both hope and despair. Each creak and groan of the outpost's decaying structure echoed with the weight of isolation. Jeremy, clad in his worn marine uniform, ventured into the lunar expanse, confronting the ghosts that lurked within the shadows. As the rescue mission's arrival drew near, Jeremy's internal battles intensified. The line between reality and illusion blurred further, and the lunar creatures, whether born of the moon's desolation or his own unraveling mind, became more menacing. In the final days leading up to the rescue, Jeremy faced a defining moment. The lunar terrain stretched before him, an alien canvas of craters and dust. The outpost, a relic of human endeavor, stood as a lonely testament to survival. Yet, the enigmatic lunar phantoms persisted, teasing him with questions that echoed in the silence. As the rescue ship's distant hum reverberated through the lunar atmosphere, Jeremy, wearied but resolute, stood at the precipice of the unknown. The rescue loomed on the horizon, a glimmer of salvation against the cosmic void. The desolate moon outpost, with its tales of isolation and spectral struggles, awaited the closure of Jeremy Cole's chapter. Dilapidated Calm's room, grappling with his sanity. The encounter with an imaginary creature had heightened his fears of descending into madness. As he contemplated smashing the comm station to silence the persistent voice, the crackle echoed once more. "This is Sergeant Stella Hayes, do you copy?" The voice, now different, rang through the speaker. Jeremy hesitated, his hand poised above the comm station, unsure of whether to dismiss it as another hallucination. The voice persisted, "Jeremy Cole, do you copy? It's me, your second in command, Stella Hayes." Jeremy's brow furrowed as he struggled to reconcile the voice with his memories. Skepticism filled his mind, but the mention of a shared past triggered a distant vision, a faint image of walking on a beach, hand in hand, with a lady named Stella. Was it a fragment of reality or another trick played by his mind? Summoning all his courage, Jeremy pressed the receiver and cautiously replied, "I am here. Come and get me. I'm ready to go home. What an experience I've had." Stella's voice, filled with excitement, responded, "I knew you were still alive. Hang tight. We are 1 hour out from your location. Over." As Jeremy lay there, catching his breath and gazing at the crumbling outpost around him, he noticed something in the corner of his eye. A shadow, a figure, perhaps the Guardian rumored to watch over the moon. The Guardian, a mythical being said to test and observe those who tread upon this desolate land. The Guardian spoke to Jeremy's mind, "You have not been going insane." These were tests and trials to see if you had the right spirit and willpower to join the Watchers. Will you stay and guard this moon for eternity, or will you leave to find that lady who wishes to take another walk on the beach? What say you, mortal being? Jeremy's mind became a battlefield, torn between the prospect of eternal guardianship and the allure of a simple walk on the beach with Stella. The weight of responsibility versus the call of a personal connection. After a moment's contemplation, he finally spoke. "I choose the beach. I choose to be with Stella." The Guardian nodded, as if acknowledging Jeremy's decision. The air shimmered, and the crumbling outpost faded away. Jeremy found himself standing on a familiar beach, the waves gently lapping against the shore. Stella stood before him, smiling. Stella was waiting for him, standing a few meters away, her eyes filled with joy and love. As Jeremy approached her, he marveled at the reality of it all. The trials, the monsters, and the voice on the comms, it had all been part of a plan to test and strengthen him. He couldn't help but ask, how exactly did we get back here to the beach? "I mean, the last thing I remember was the Guardian giving me the option to join the Watchers," Stella, with a confident stare in her eyes, said. "When we arrived at the outpost you were unconscious, so we got you to the drop ship and never looked back." Jeremy, with a puzzling feeling, wondered if he had met the Guardian at all. They embraced, their bodies intertwining as if they were the missing halves of a whole. "I never stopped believing in you," Stella whispered. At that moment Jeremy looked to the skies and saw a twinkle from a distant star. Could that have been the Guardian, he wondered? A sign that he had chose the right place to be. Meanwhile, the Guardian, having fulfilled its purpose, vanished into the cosmic shadows, leaving the moon to its silent vigil in the vast expanse of space. Jeremy Cole, once forgotten and on the brink of madness, had chosen the simplicity of a human connection over the otherworldly responsibilities that awaited him. The echoes of trials and tests faded away, replaced by the serene sound of the ocean and the company of the one he chose to be with.